Pineapple Delight. So the pineapples at Sprouts this week were $1 a piece. It's pretty hefty. If you compare the pineapple to the avocado, it's pretty good comparative size. In Hawaii or the Philippines or other tropical places, you can get these like triple this size. But this is good for here, especially at $1 a pop. So I've already, peeled these down, and you can see in a lot of places they cut these centers out. They cut these out so you can't root them like this. Like this I could save and plant, but they cut those out so people can't steal their pineapple and start growing it as well. So for this recipe, you're going to need 4 pineapples, about 4 cups of sugar. You're going to reserve the centers that they cut, and I'm going to help you with that. And you'll also need 12 cups of water and some lemon juice. You'll need 8 jars. So you're going to take the pineapples. I've already stripped all the leaves off of this because I'm going to throw them in the compost. Alright? You're going to cut the head off. Ooh, that's tough. Cut the bottom off. Give it a whiff. All of these smell really good. I don't know why the dogs are all right here. They're begging. Okay, you're going to go straight down like this. You're going to try to leave as much of the flesh as possible. Alright? So just trim down and then go in. Trim down and go in. Just get the skin off. You can leave the eyes, but get the skin off. Alright? Clean off your cutting board. You want to make sure that you have a stainless bowl here, and in the opposite, you're going to have your baby stock pot with the 4 cups of sugar waiting for the trim. For this, I use my small paring knife. You can use a regular knife, you can use a 10 or 12-inch French, but I prefer this. Just because your fingers get really slick and the fruit has the sugar and stuff in it. So this is how I was taught to do it, alright? You see how this moves in a diagonal pattern around? You're going to follow that. Okay? You're just going to cut that out. Just like that. And just work all the way around. We're going to trim this first because we need the cores to make the pineapple sugar. This is how my great Aunt Penny taught me. Great Aunt Penny is my grandmother's sister-in-law. But as long as I can remember, every time we went to the Philippines, she'd always been there for us. And I tried a lot of stuff from her. I was like 6 years old eating frog legs. But I would always watch her when she did this. When I got older, there's always a maid, but she liked to do this. So you just cut the eyes out like that. And you'll see that it leaves this part raised. See that? See that right there? So you're not cutting all of that off. And essentially, you eat more fruit. I miss her. God rest her soul. I hadn't seen her in years, and then Afro and I took a trip to the Philippines for like 10 days on a whirlwind thing. I was very happy he got to meet her. Just continue all the way around. And I do it in small pieces so I'm not cutting out too much fruit because sometimes the eyes change direction. See? After you've trimmed the pineapples down, and you'll see they should be pretty uniform like this. Alright? See, you got that nice little diagonal on it. You want to rinse your cutting board, then you're going to rinse your pineapple and then return it to the cutting board. The reason you do that is because the eyes have little hairs in them. See right there? And in some people, it's gross to feel on your mouth, you know, to feel that, the fibrous stuff like that. It's kind of like a hair in the eye. So you want to get rid of that. So you have to rinse it and then bring it back. My great aunt used to rub sea salt on the outside of the pineapple before she rinsed it, and it took some of the slick off. I'm not going to do that. I like the slick. Okay, I have 4 pineapples right here. I love how that looks right there. So then I'm going to quarter them. Now you can see there's a marked difference in the color here. Okay? So you want to cut the whitest part out, but it's very flavorful. It's kind of tart. It's just not good for, you know, I like it. My godbrother likes it, but I'm going to cut that out. See, and you can see that's whiter, that's brighter, and this is the part that we're going to can. Okay? You can also trim that. And these bits, I'm throwing them in the sugar. So you want to cut all of those out. It's not that big. If you look at it, out of the quarter of the pineapple, it's about that big. You can just cut that in 2 or 3 pieces and throw it in the sugar. Cut out the cores, and I put the cores in the 4 cups of sugar. I'm going to go ahead and put 12 cups of filtered water, and I'm going to put that at a simmer. While the sugar is coming to a boil, you're going to take these quarters. Mix quite a bit. It's a pretty easy part of it. All you're going to do is cut it in half, okay? And then cut it into about 8 or 9 pieces, about like that. If you want to go chunkier, you could also cut it in 3 and then cut it in 5. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If you cut it like that, this is about the size of what's in the can, the store-bought can. Now that the sugar water, okay, the simple syrup, however you want to call it, your light syrup, has boiled down to about 2/3, you want to start washing your canner and your jars and your rings. Okay, I've washed all of my lids, my rings, my jars, and I'm going to place them in the water here, okay, to keep them sanitized and warm until I added about a cup more water because that was looking a little too low to me. And then we're going to let that come to a boil, and we're going to can some pineapple. The water is bubbling in the canner, so that I'm pretty confident that everything's warm. You want to put your rings and lids in this, the heat-resistant bowl. Have your magnetic lifter waiting. Have your jar funnel waiting, and also have a ladle ready. So we're going to take these out one by one. Oopsie, party foul. It's really hot, so take these out. Whoa. And then pour them in here. That functions to warm up that bit of rubber around the edge, even though they are self-sealing. So you see, this is the 4 pineapples that I broke down. Okay? Simple syrups working right there. It's boiling. I have all of my jars lined up. We're going to fill them to about half. Actually, we're going to fill them to the 1/2 inch line. Take it back. So just keep working. Actually, these are chunky enough. I don't even need the funnel really, since we're going to wipe down the sides anyways. So you're just going to fill those up. I don't know if I'm going to have extra So I'm actually going to fill a little of each up to make sure that the fruit is divided equally. Now you want to make these settle. The jars are still a bit warm, but you should shake them. You might have to get a mitt or something, but tap them down like that and you can see that it will settle. Okay, so I'm just going to go through and do that for 8 jars. After I tap them down, see that you gain some space. And you just want to continue filling those. Okay, you want to continue filling those. Those are stuffed about halfway. I'm still going to press them through. Okay, we left about, we left about a cup. That's usual. Yeah, it's 2 cups. So now we have to shut the drawer, and we're going to ladle in the hot syrup. There you go, right to half. Don't get any of the stuff in there. You can strain it out if you don't want to deal with it. If you just find the spot where it's boiling, you can very easily put that in there. So just continue filling it to the 1/2 inch line. There you go. Now that you've filled all of them, covered them, it's very little bubbles in here because I dripped it in so slowly. So I'm just going to jiggle it through and press it down again and make sure that it is bubble free. Right? Just run it down like that. This is raw pack. I hate it when it's underpacked. So you can see there's like a bubble right there. I'm just going to push it out. Right? Just inspect your jar. Take a wet, sanitized towel and wipe around the edges of each of your jars. So get your hot lid, right? Line it up like that. Grab your hot ring. Put it on here. And twist it once. See if we can get it. And we'll twist it finger tight, and then drop it in the pot. Do that with all 8. Once you have all of your jars in there not touching, okay, I went ahead and added more water. Turn the heat all the way up. Right, you want that to cover about 1.5 inches. Mine's about 1.5 inches. So 1 to 2 inches. And then just shut that and wait for it to come to a boil. You'll know it's boiling once the nipple pops, and start timing when you can vent it. The time is 25 minutes on the pineapples for pints and 30 for quarts. Also note, you have extra syrup. Just cover that. Just leave that soaking like that. You can always add more tomorrow. I'm going to process more tomorrow, so I'm going to add more sugar and add fresh quarts to it and just take it to a boil again. And whatever you have left, I just put it in a Tupperware. Somebody usually eats it around here. Or I'll just throw it into the canning tomorrow, but refrigerate this, alright? It's really late. Got caught up doing a bunch of other stuff. But the timer went off and I let the nipple deflate. And now we're going to pull the pineapple. You can see. There you go, Aunt Daddy. It's underwater. Where's my jar lifter? Okay. So let's just get these out. See what they look like. You can tell they're still processing a bit. You can tell those lids look real distended. I don't know if you can hear it. They're still working a little. Whew. I tell you what, it does not take me that long to hot water bath stuff, but when you're filming, shoot, it's like triple the time because you have to line everything up. But I did this one a while back, during the week I did it because I had 3. Then the pineapples went on sale again, so look alright. See how they look in the morning. We'll check the seals. If not, we're going to be eating a lot of pineapple upside down cupcakes. I'm just going to tap that excess water off.